Last week I experimented with my Garmin watch and followed along with some of the suggested workouts that it gave me each day. Here's how I got on. I've also included how you can find your own suggested workouts. I'm using the Forerunner 935 and I'm sure quite a lot of the Forerunners will have the option. Obviously give it a go, see if it's there. So I'm off on run number 1 of the week. It's day 2, day 3 of follow along with what my Garmin says. Over on to Thursday now. It's day 5. So I'm off on run number 1 of the week. It said 39 minutes at a 5:40 pace, and it's calling it a base run, which I'm kind of happy about because my legs are pretty sore in the weekend. Okay. So yeah, see how far that gets me. Alright, it's day 2 and I'm not really dressed in running kit, and that is because I've decided to push the workout that's been suggested for today to tomorrow, because I woke up, I checked it, and it said 42 minutes of a base run at 5:35 pace, which is pretty much exactly what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, because I'm going to be leading the club run at about a 5:35 pace. So I thought, you know what, let's just push that onto tomorrow and kind of give myself a justification for ignoring it tomorrow. Instead of doing the run today and then kind of repeating it again tomorrow, I'm going to push it over to day 3 and do that workout then. So what I will do today though is show you how to get to the place on your own watch so that you can follow along your Garmin suggested workouts yourself if you don't know how to. So here's how. Okay, so with your watch you're going to head over to however you get to your runs. Here. And then instead of clicking start, you're going to go over settings menu. So I just clicked it up and I have the workouts come up. I'm going to click workouts and then I'm going to have a look at today's suggestion. And so as I said earlier, it says 5:35 for 42 minutes. Alright, it's day 3 of follow along with what my Garmin says. I'm actually off out to the club to lead tonight, so I'm actually quite glad that today's suggestion is a base run. It is 5 minutes and 35 per kilometre, and yeah, it says 39 minutes. It'll be about an hour because I'm leading, and that's how long our group runs kind of roughly take. So yeah, I didn't do a run yesterday on day 2. I did a little workout instead. But I did have a little peek at what it said, and it was another base run. I swear it can suggest things that aren't base runs, but I will check on you tomorrow. Alright, we're over on to Thursday now, so day 4, and it's finally given me a run that's not a base run. So 28 minutes at 6:40 pace, which is pretty good, because I don't think I could do much more this morning. 28 minutes complete, so I'm just a little bit away from my house. Because the 28 minutes wasn't completely a loop, so just doing a little bit of a cool down run, a walk, not run, finished the run, and yeah, it was a nice little recovery run, not too hard, felt quite light, so that's lovely. I don't know what it'll give me tomorrow, but we've seen base runs and recovery runs so far, so let's see what else there is. We're 4 days into Garmin training now, and I thought whilst I sit here waiting for a train, I would let you know some of my thoughts that I've been feeling throughout the week so far. So I think it's actually been pretty good for me. I felt really motivated to check the watch, see what workout it kind of suggests, and actually overall I've been pleasantly surprised by the fact that it hasn't given me anything hard yet. So I don't know if maybe it's seeing my previous training and kind of deciding what's the right level for me at the moment, but I'm grateful at the moment. I kind of hope that there isn't one tomorrow. I hope there's a rest day, because it hasn't given me one of them yet. The paces have been pretty nice as well, so they've not been really far out my range. Everything's been quite comfortable so far. I think, again, that's just because they've given me quite easy and nice workouts. I've got a setting on my watch where it asks me to evaluate the workout as well at the end, so I don't know if that's playing into it, because I have kind of said like, oh, that one was a little bit hard today, oh, that was a bit easy today, so maybe that factors into it. Obviously I don't know. Maybe by the end of this video I'll have checked it up and see what it actually does for the workouts, and if it does change anything. What has been a little bit of a struggle though is that it tells you all of these things in terms of time. So obviously it gives you a pace that you're to run at, and then it says, oh, you'll be running for like 30 minutes. Like, that's okay if you are regularly running at that pace and you know kind of how far you're going to go. But if you don't, it's quite hard to know what route to take. I guess if you're literally just turning up somewhere, running out and then turning around halfway to run back, it's all good and you know exactly where you are. But like, for example, this morning we went out, I was doing the 28 minutes at 640 minutes per kilometre, and kind of like it just stopped like a little bit far away from my house, so you might end up stranded, basically, is what I'm trying to say. If you don't get your timings right or your distance right and you're doing like a loop or something like that, it might be a little bit tricky to get back home again. So definitely have a little think about what kind of distance that would make, because it is quite a hard conversion to actually do if you're going from like the time and the pace to then work out the distance. Like, obviously, you know, you can use a calculator, but to do it in your head just before a workout, it's kind of tricky. Just to, you know, come up with the number, or like, oh, it'll be that fast. Like, I roughly said like, oh, it'll be about, you know, just under 5k, and it ended up being 4.4 kilometers. So I wasn't too far off, but that was a little bit away from my house at that point. So I just walked back. I could have ran back, but I was like, nah, let's walk. Let's do an actual proper cool down today, because I didn't do any stretching afterwards. I know the Garmin is always trying to just give you a target though, so it's trying to give you a target pace and a set time. So the only thing that they're kind of controlling is the amount of time. So if you don't run those paces, obviously you're going to run a little bit further, or if you don't quite get up to it, you're going to run a little bit less. So I guess it could be quite tricky, but it would be really nice for it to give a rough estimate as to how far they reckon you're going to go in that time, just to make planning easier for all of us, like, you know, amateurs thinking like, oh, I don't have all day to try and work my way back home. At the moment, it's also not really giving me much variety. So it was base on Monday, base on Tuesday that I didn't do, then base on Wednesday that was pretty much exactly the same as the Tuesday one, and then Thursday it gave me a recovery run. So they're all quite nice, low intensity. It's not giving me anything if that requires a huge amount of effort just yet, but maybe it's saving it up for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's only 3 more days left, so let's see what happens tomorrow. It's day 5, so Friday, and instead of doing the run workout today, I'm going to do the cycle workout. So it's suggesting a 90 watts for 1 hour and 10 minutes. I don't have an hour and 10 minutes, so I'm going to do probably about half an hour before I have my breakfast, because I've got to leave quite early this morning. Everything's still kind of suggesting base workout. So the run I also checked was 5:40 pace for 39 minutes. So still base, and so I'm going to take the cycle option, because I just know that if I try and do 6 runs this week, it's not going to work out well. So we're going to take a day off and do some cycling instead, and then hopefully running again Saturday and Sunday. We're on Sunday, and yet again it is suggesting a base run. So yesterday at parkrun, I kind of didn't stick to what it's told me to. It was also suggesting another base run, but I knew that due to time I couldn't really do that and give it the time that it needed. So I just went and did parkrun as normal, and then got back in, did a little workout. And then yet again, this morning it's suggesting a base workout. So it's suggesting 5:40 minutes per kilometre for 39 minutes, which is exactly what it suggested on Monday. Pace has dropped from 5:40 because I've chosen a route that goes uphill. So just going to take it gently, fully up, maybe even walk when needed. So with the paces, it does kind of just suggest a plain pace. It doesn't really tell you if that's an uphill pace or downhill pace. I've just kind of been assuming that's the average pace, so almost like a flat pace. And then today we went up a big hill at the start of the run, so I didn't really look at that pace too much. But what I have kind of tried to do is stick within the blue range of my heart rate. So I think that's probably about zone 2. And just because the base comes through as blue, I'm kind of figuring that maybe that is the right level of effort to be putting in. So if you don't want to do it via paces, you may also be able to swap it and do it at a heart rate. It just isn't very clear that that might be possible. And so that's the end of the week. In total, I managed to run 32 kilometers, follow along with my watch. Obviously, a few days I didn't actually follow it because it never gave me a rest day, and I feel like trying to run every day would have been a little bit too much for me. So 5 runs in total and 32 kilometers, so not bad. And I'm feeling a little bit kind of revitalized in my training and a little bit more motivated. So maybe it is something to give a go if you're kind of floundering around in your training. Happy running, everyone. See you next time.